Hello, good evening, and welcome to Garblag International. Yes, we've gone international. We're pulling in players from all around the world, from such far and exotic climes as Brighton and
Hi.
Scotland.
Scotland, hi.
We do have a player from Canada, and Safino has only just got back from Vietnam, though, so we're totally calling it Garblag International. I'm Ben, and I shall be your host for this new edition of our Pathfinder series. This is Path of the Pilgrims, Session 0. And we're going to be building characters tonight. So, very quickly to do introductions, with me, I've got Safino.
Hello.
I've got Alden.
Hello.
I've got Jim.
Hello there.
I've got Nye.
Hi.
And I've got Simon.
Hello.
And I will hopefully soon have CJ, but such is the problem with international calls. Now, this is a little homebrew setting of my own devising, set in the Great Azh'Kars desert, a huge continent-spanning desert setting with bits pilfered from Dark Sun, borrowed from Dune, the occasional little snippet of my own experience. See, I grew up in the Middle East for a big chunk of my life, lived in Qatar, I have family in Israel and various places. So, we'll throw that into the international mix as well. Anyway, so far we've had a little bit of a pre-game chat about what people wanted to play, what they were thinking of doing. And we've come to a couple of ideas for what people want to play. So what we're going to do is we're going to build characters today, and we're going to see about how we can fit them in. I'm planning on using the Deep Background rules from Pathfinder 2nd edition Game Mastery Guide, which is a very lovely book that has some very useful information in on how to increase the depth. I have to say I'm super impressed by this little arrival, Pathfinder Bestiary. It's so shiny. It's the luxury edition. I thought I'd ordered the standard one, and sometimes these things happen. It's got two little tassely ribbons and beautiful artwork within. So I will be using that to throw horrible monsters at my players later. For now, however, let's start by taking a look at some basics of character creation. Now, everybody's got a character sheet assigned to them on Roll20, which you may or may not see.
No.
Yep.
Horrible monsters. Oh, the fancy version. Yes. Deep backgrounds. So, to start off with, Pathfinder gives us the option to play the following species types. Now, I've spent a bit of time on Twitter recently and reading and getting involved in some of the discussions on there about bioessentialism and the way people deal with race and species and things. So I'm trying to use the word species to refer to the different ancestries that you find. I love the way that Pathfinder do call it ancestries. So the ancestries or the species available to the players are dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin, halfling, and human. What are people feeling like going with in terms of their species or ancestry?
Are half elves an option, or
half elves? I have left out of this one because I want to build a better version, if you like.
Oh, I see.
I backed a Kickstarter recently looking at heritage and ancestry without the problematic elements of 1970s D&D rulings. So once that comes through and is fully developed, and I can look at ways to pull sort of ancestries from here, there, and everywhere, it will be able to have half halflings and half goblins and half this, that's, and the others, and look at mingling all of the ancestries, because it does seem a little bit racist. Oh, humans are the only special ones that can have mixed race offspring, and only with these two other things. And that's where a lot of the issues have crept in for people. So I'm going with separating of species in for the time being. So if you want to play one, you go for one species and go with that, not in a sort of horribly exclusive kind of way, just in a these are different species, and at the end of the day I've got to bow to my genetics degree and acknowledge that chromosomes are a thing sometimes. So anybody want to be a dwarf?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Splendid. Jim's going for a dwarf. Anybody fancy an elf?
I'm going to go for an elf, please.
Lovely. Any gnomes?
Oh, I'll take gnome for 10.
Gordon for a
please.
gnome for 10. Goblins? Nobody's going to take a chance on a
No
goblin.
Gobbos.
I think everybody else wanted to go human, if I'm right. So that
Yeah, if
was
that's okay.
Yeah, we're going to be boring
Yeah.
vanilla humans.
nothing boring
Go
and vanilla about humans.
humans. Yeah.
From what I've seen, he does some of the best ancestry feats.
It's
What?
often
I
the way
like
with
general
humans. People
trainer.
make them nice and versatile. Yeah. Okay, so class-wise, very similar to D&D in many ways. Don't worry, Jason, there might still be goblins in the future. There may still be some sort of changes and mods, and we've still got CJ to find out about. In the meantime, taking a look at the classes that are available, we've got Alchemist, Barbarian, Bard, Champion, which is the Pathfinder equivalent of Paladin. And one of the good things about champions is that they have got iterations for different alignments. So instead of just being a lawful good paladin, you can be a paladin or a liberator or a redeemer and look at different aspects of the sort of divine calling, which I think is particularly cool. Clerics, druids, fighters, monks, rangers, rogues, sorcerers, and wizards, all fairly standard ideas. So, what do we feel?
I'm going fighter.
Nye's going to go for
Yep,
a
fighter.
human fighter. Splendid news.
Blandest of bland, but I
Straight
like it
down
that
the
way.
line. Love it. Love it.
It worked for Luke Skywalker. It
It
works
did.
here.
It did.
Absolutely.
Farm boy.
I still insist he is a he's a ranger at the beginning of the New Hope.
No, he's a farm boy at the beginning
Oh,
of A New
boy.
Hope. Call to
nice.
adventure is an integral part of the hero's journey.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
Yep.
the ranger is easily the most common background.
Magic sword from a wise old man in the desert.
I'm using a bow though. Oh.
Oh, there you go. That'll really spice
Magic.
things up.
Just
Yeah.
one magic arrow though, and then once I use it, I've got no more. So
So,
It's an heirloom.
Nye, you want to
Yes.
go with a human cleric. Let's take a look at what being a human gets you, since we've got the most humans.
oop-doop.
I have decided to also, because I'm a dangerous rebel who plays the game by his own rules, and there will be people face bombing the length and breadth of the country right now at knowing the truth behind this. I want to ditch the idea of ability boosts being species linked or ancestry linked. So I'm going to let you
okay.
choose where your ancestry
Really?
your boosts go. Yes, if you want to be a charismatic dwarf or a strong halfling, you go cray cray, my friend.
Okay.
So
alright.
humans will get the common language. So if you want to open up your character sheet on
Common.
Pathfinder, you get the common language and additional languages equal to your intelligence modifier. So those can be
Okay.
either ancestry based or region based. So we have sort of regions
Okay.
in the Azh'Kars desert. So we've got one region up here. This area is known as the Tribe Lands. The area down
Okay,
here is the Knoll Reaches. So Knoll is an available language to learn. Over here, we've got the Dragon Wealth, which is why there's a big old dragon here. This is the dragon Ixigavinex, Scourge of the Sands, and undisputed
Okay.
ruler of the Dragon Wealth. We have the Great Gorge over here, where Old Imperial is going to be a common language. Down here, we have the Ashen Crescent, which is also known sometimes as the Five Cities. And then over here, we've got the Dry Expanse, which is all about the weirdness. So if you want to take a regional language or a species language equal to your intelligence modifier, you can go right ahead and do that. You also, as a human, get extra feats and or skills, depending on whether you want to go for skilled heritage or versatile heritage.
I think I will go for versatile heritage. if
Versatile
that's
heritage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Gets
Gets
this
you
out a little bit. So
that gets you a general feat of your choice, as long as you meet the
Yes.
prerequisite.
would it be okay if I get toughness?
Yes,
since
absolutely
I'm
fine.
Fighter.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just don't want to die. So
Stories.
Sound decision. Looks like someone's tanking for us then.
Excellent.
from with a with a bow, or
With a
not,
bow.
like, yeah, just thwack them with it.
Tanks have long range weapons. Nothing wrong with
Yeah. No, yeah.
that. Who was my other human?
Is I.
Tis I. Tis Safino.
Mm,
So same again there.
mm.
Common language. Are you going skilled or versatile, do you think?
Let's go versatile as well. And I get extra feats
You
then.
do. You get an extra feat from the general feat range.
All right.
On top of that, you get human ancestry feats as well. So adapted cantrip, cooperative nature, general training, haughty obstinacy,
Oh, yeah, I like the sound of that. I'm
Best
not even
name
gaming
ever.
it. I just
natural ambition, natural skill, or unconventional weaponry. Haughty obstinacy. Your powerful ego makes it harder for others to order you around.
it sounds
If
about
you roll
right.
a success on a saving throw against a mental effect, you critically succeed instead.
Okay.
If a creature fails to coerce you using intimidation, it gets a critical failure instead. So you're just a really stubborn bastard.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are the first level human cantrips that are available. Cantrips, feats.
Feats.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Right, Jim, as an dwarf,
Yep.
a forged dwarf, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so you are adapted to hot environments. Fire resistance equal to half your level with a minimum of 1. Environmental heat effects are 1 step less extreme.
Okay.
Also, as a dwarf, you get common and dwarven as free languages and additional languages from your intelligence modifier. You also get dark vision.
Okay.
Your hit point base. Oh, there's a hit point base for humans as well. Pardon my forgetfulness. Human base hit points are 8. Dwarven base hit points are 10. Human base speed is 25. Dwarven base speed is 20. Both are size medium. I see the people on the Twitch stream are going for it already. Smoobly Moob says, what's an intelligence modifier? That would be the man who's just elected to play a Gamorrean guard in a Star Wars game with an intelligence of 4. That intelligence modifier is why your character can't speak. And old Uncle Mojo says, is this a Dark Sun-like world? It pinches elements, Uncle Mojo, from Dark Sun, but also some from Dune and some from just the actual Middle East. So I hope you still like it. I haven't used psionics because I never really got on with them in D&D.
Yeah, they were always a really confusing addition. I was sort of like, isn't this magic?
Yeah, should have stuck with the magic, D&D guys. What were you thinking?
Can be all edgy.
Okay, so dwarves get a dwarven heritage feat as well.
Okay.
Dwarven law, dwarven weapon for military, familiarity, rock runner, stone cunning, unburdened iron, vengeful hatred.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing because we're in the desert, there's not going to be a lot of iron armor around, really.
Not particularly, no. It's going to be tricky stuff to come by.
It's a bit hot.
Yeah. So, what was the last one again?
The last one was vengeful hatred. So you choose.
Yeah.
It's like the Rangers' preferred enemy thing.
Yeah. So, could I have null, please?
Yes, absolutely. Gnolls are one of the main threats.
Yeah.
to the people of the Tribelands. So vengeful hatred of gnolls is absolutely acceptable there.
Okay.
Right, elves. Elves have starting hit points of 6, size medium, speed 30 feet, because they're nippy. They have low light vision, whereas dwarves have dark vision. They begin with common and elven language, and then also get additional languages equal to intelligence modifier.
Find where I put all of this. Now, where do you put the dark vision on your character sheet?
Dark vision on your character sheet can go into on the character sheet if you open up the bit that has it can either go in notes or you can put it in senses under perception.
I am being blinders.
On the front page of the character sheet, you've got a section for hit points. You've got a section for resistance and
I
immunities.
see, yeah. Senses.
There you go. Any sub-heritage of elf that you particularly liked?
I have to admit, I like the idea of the seer elves seem.
I support and endorse this product and or service. That's what I'm playing in our other Pathfinder game. Seer elves are pretty awesome. So that's a +1 circumstance modifier to identify magic and decipher writing. Of
Where would that go again?
I would stick that somewhere in one of the notes sections for now.
I'll put it under.
So possibly under perception as well.
Yeah, it seems like a.
And then elven ancestry feats. You've got elven longevity. Now I'm playing elven longevity slightly different for the people watching. I've never been entirely comfortable with the 1,000-year elves because you'd get bored, wouldn't you? I mean, what'd you do after 1,000 years? I know they tried to get around it now in D&D and Pathfinder by talking about how elves focus in on a set of skills and then after a century or so completely swap to learning a different set of skills. But I prefer the idea that elves are historically maybe an ancient and long-lived race, but that they've lost some of their grace. And
so it's Dragon Age. It's Dragon Age elves.
Yeah, much more like Dragon Age elves. Normal lifespans. They might live to 100 more likely than others, but they're not all 1,000-year-old super immortal, graceful wonder beings. So there is elven longevity, which is a thing. Elven lore, elven weapon familiarity, forlorn.
How does elven longevity going to work in this then? If it's,
you can have a proficiency rank in one skill of your choice still, so it's basically an extra proficiency rank.
Okay. And what are the other ones?
Forlorn, nimble, otherworldly magic, unwavering main. Main? That's one of those words I get wrong. I
always say mean.
Mine, I think.
Mine.
But it's one of those ones you never say out loud.
Yeah. Everybody's read it. Nobody says it.
Yeah.
Decisions. I do like the idea of having an extra 5 feet of movement. So
it is a noble thing, well worth having. So nimble is a good choice.
35 feet is. Here we are.
Fast boy.
Okay, Alden, my
Hello.
gnome.
Hello.
Hit points 8, size small.
Should I have a character sheet at this point?
You should. Do you not have one?
I do not have one.
I've even got one with your name on it.
Yeah, there is one.
Have I not? I have not assigned it to you because I am a bad person. There, now you have one.
Oh, look, now I've got a character sheet. Don't mind me, I must have missed it.
No, it was all me.
Yeah, I know. Being nice.
So you start off with 8 hit points, size small, speed 25 feet. And you get 3 languages to start off with.
Yeah, look at me.
You jammy so-and-so. Common, Gnomish, and Sylvan. And then you'll also get additional ones based on your intelligence modifier. You also get low light vision.
Mm-hmm.
Did you choose one of the gnomish heritages that you like the look of?
I like Fey touched.
Fey touched, good shout. So Fey touched gnomes also get 1 free primal cantrip as an innate spell.
Yeah, so we do. Oh, no, look at that.
That's quite snacky.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
And then you also get a gnomish ancestry feat. I love the way it's called. This is great. Instead of being called animal companion or familiar or anything, it's called animal accomplice. Like they're expecting you to do shifty things with this animal. What, mate? I didn't do nothing.
Well, it was the raccoon. Nothing to me.
Trash Panda done it.
Oh,
you can't be another Cockney geezer.
Oh no, it's all right. I have a different.
Right, so there's animal accomplice, burrow elocutionist.
Which I also love.
I can speak to badgers.
Basically, yes.
Fey fellowship, first world magic, gnome obsession.
Sorry, was that first world magic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hashtag first world magic.
So I'll say, yeah.
In Pathfinder
Simon
2nd edition, the
Cappuccino.
first world represents the Fey realm, what would be called the Feywild in D&D. Because it came first, rather than first world as in, oh no, we're developed and all of you other people aren't.
I mean, to be fair, the Fae do see the rest of the world like that.
They do. I love gnome obsession. What a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Gnome weapon familiarity and illusion sense.
See, we said Trash Bandit, which means I wasn't going to go for it, but I'm now going for Animal Accomplice.
Animal accomplice, and you want a trash panda.
I want a Trash Panda.
So you're going for a raccoon.
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse. You're going to have a raccoon and a plant buddy.
Yes, that is where we're going.
Splendid. No goblins, humans covered, no halflings. Good stuff. Right, so that is species or ancestry covered. I do like ancestry. Now we need to get into backgrounds. Now here is where we diverge a little bit from the main rule set. I'm going to give you guys a choice here. We can roll for some background elements and you can see if you like it or not, or we can pick out some elements that you like. So take your pick, really.
Roll every time.
Roll every time. Wow, man.
Let the dice decide.
No, I mean, yes. I mean, no.
Sam is probably cheering right now wherever she is. She doesn't know why. She'll be modding a Warhammer figure and suddenly just going like, yes! Roll for everything! All right, so Deep Backgrounds looks at everything from your family size to your homeland to major childhood events, influential associates, your relationships to the other players. It gives you a lot more sort of depth and ideas about where your character comes from and where your character's going.
Right.
So if everybody wants to roll a D100.
Are we doing it in the roll 20?
Yes. So in roll 20, you can either type
No, I'm very familiar.
the...
Okay.
Oh, there we go. If you click on the dice on the left-hand side, it gives you the option for D100. So
Well, you can do it that way.
Yes.
you
Ooh.
can just go beep like that, and it will roll
Oh, I got. Wait, what did I get?
a D100 for you.
I got 19. Everyone got higher numbers. Oh wait, no,
Higher
someone got
numbers
11.
aren't necessarily
I got
11.
better.
Right. Jim, do you want to come from a small family, a medium family, or a large family?
A small family, please.
Right. That gives you 4 members of your family. A small family gives you a strength ability boost. So that's +2 strength and +2
Okay.
constitution.
Do I put that on straight away now?
Yes, you can put those on straight away now.
So +2.
Strength and +2 con. Simon got 11. Simon, do you want a small family, medium family, or large family?
I will go for a small or medium. It's the same.
It is the same. You both have 0 family members, like a true role player should.
I remember in a game once where my group was threatened, our families were threatened if we didn't do what the bad guy wants, and I boasted, "I've got no one who loves me, so I can do what I like." And then I went off and cried.
It's a classic role-playing trope, isn't it? Every role player has that one character where at some point your parents were everybody's done the Batman thing.
Oh yeah, well, once. Yeah, it's a
At
rite of
least
passage.
once. Yeah. Right. So you've got a family size of 0. You're all by your lonesome. So that gives you a strength boost and a constitution boost. So strength +2 and constitution +2. Aldoon.
Yes.
Aha! CJ has joined the party. Dun, 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 dun. So if our glorious Garblag overlord, wherever he might be,
Garblag.
if he could jump on stream and monkey around with where everybody's faces are, that would be fantastico. Here we go. Yeah.
Oh, I've changed person.
That will have messed up. If you're watching in Twitch or YouTube, the stream might have jumped momentarily.
Yeah. I believe I am CJ and CJ is me.
Wow. Hi, CJ. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Hello.
Right, CJ, we're just getting into background and character creation and stuff. So what we've got so far is we have a human sorcerer, a human fighter farm boy spectacular, a dwarven cleric, got to get it right, a gnome druid.
Yeah.
And what have I missed? I missed someone.
I'm still unsure.
Simon. Simon's an elf something.
Elf something.
All right.
So
it's been... Oh, yeah.
What kind of ancestry do you want to have? In Pathfinder, we've got dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin, halfling, or human.
Probably go human because they're the worst.
Oh.
Easiest one to go for, in all fairness. Okay, I'm just assigning you a character sheet on roll 20.
All right.
So if you log into roll 20, I will be able to do that. So you want to go with a human? That's cool. Alchemist, barbarian, bard, champion, cleric, druid, fighter, monk, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, wizard.
There's no paladin.
The champion contains
Champion.
paladins.
Oh.
The
Okay,
champion means that you can be a paladin-like character without having to be stick up the ass, super lawful.
Oh. Which one's the easiest to start with? Because I've played a ton of role-playing games, but never actually did like a D&D Pathfinder style type thing.
I would probably say in that case, avoid a spellcaster. Your best bet is to probably go for. I would go with maybe a more combat character or a sort of roguish character, because then you don't have spells and stuff like that to worry about.
All right.
But
the other human. Sorry, what were they again?
we've got a sorcerer human and a fighter human.
All right, I'll be a rogue. I'll be the jerk that sneaks around.
Okay, excellent. A human rogue.
Very valued companion.
Yes. Or an accomplice.
No,
Don't get him started. He's got an accomplice
I've
already.
got a trash panda for that.
He's got a trash panda.
Can I teach it to pick locks?
Probably.
Dexterous
On a
little
10.
hands. Yeah.
It's
They
got
do.
little
They have
hand.
tiny little hands, don't they?
Yeah.
Doesn't need lock picks, it's got them built in.
So humans. I'm just going to make a few mods on here. Do you want to be a particularly skilled human or a particularly versatile human? Versatile means extra feats, which are like powers and moves and things like that, whereas skilled is skills.
Yeah.
Skills for douches.
If I'm a rogue, I'll probably go skilled.
Cool. That gets you an extra skill. Oops, not rug. You're a rogue.
I could be a rogue.
You could. Oh, a rogue. I'm having spelling fun with your character sheet right now.
People just
Means
walk all over you if you're a
medium.
rug. Ah, okay.
Yeah, but that's it. No one will pay if you're a rogue rug. No one will know you're there.
Very sneaky. Yeah.
Mm, excellent disguise.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. Bum, 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 bum. That should get us up to somewhere. So that's all good. Right. And then we were just looking at some background.
Backstory.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to... CJ, have you managed to get into Roll20 or is it doing
Yeah,
its thing?
I'm logged in there.
Okay, cool. Have you got the Pathfinder game opening?
Like from you or?
Yeah. Let me stick a link in the chat on Zoom. And then you can use that to access the game directly.
All right.
Okay, so we were looking at people's family sizes. Who hasn't got a family yet?
Me.
Alden, small, medium, or large?
Huge.
Huge. Gnomes tend to
Thousands
go
of
for
us.
quite large families because they've got a sort of roving traveler vibe to them
All in the
a lot
burrow.
of the time. So what did you roll? You rolled an 47, which gets you a large family of 4 members. Could be brothers, sisters, parents, uncles, aunts, grandparents. That's just the immediately close bits of your family. You gain a +2 boost to your charisma and dexterity from having to mediate families and dealing with crowded home spaces.
+2 to my charisma and my what now?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Yeah. Well, that'll come in useful.
And Safino, small, medium, or large?
I will also take a large family, please.
A large
Yes,
family on a 40 gets you also 4 people and the same boost to charisma and dexterity.
+2.
Yes.
Cool.
Oh no. A dexterity boost on a sorcerer. What a shame.
Could just like really like quick hand movements. I mean, it won't do anything to the spells, but just it makes it look cooler.
It'll look awesome.
The thing is that sorcerers
Oh, do they not use
charisma as their spellcasting
Oh yeah,
stat.
of course. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, CJ, I've assigned you a character. It's under the name of CJ at the minute. We can change that when you got a name.
So I'm really like, I feel super new.
It's okay. Fear not. I know. Sorry.
Like I wasn't sure if on Roll20 if there was a character sheet that I was filling out or if it's pen and paper.
There is a Roll20 character sheet. So if you look in the journal tab in the top right, there should be a sheet that says CJ on it, which is a human skilled. I've filled in human skilled and the rogue and the size.
Oh, so fancy.
It is quite fancy, and your speed starts at 25. So that's that in there as well. Okay, going back to there. Right, Nye, small, medium, or large family?
I'll have a large family.
Large family on a 19 isn't actually all that large, sadly. It's only 2 people.
No.
But it does net you the charisma and dexterity boosts.
Is
Still.
that your aunt and uncle?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I thought dexterity is good for me. But an aunt and uncle.
It's your aunt and uncle. Okay.
Yeah, it has to be that. No, I'll be blonde.
If you don't call your character Lucas Sandwalker, I'm going to be disappointed.
Sand
I've got to
stroller.
say.
Yeah.
Right, CJ, can you roll the D100? So if you click on the dice on the left-hand side, one of the options is a D100. Yes, 13. Small, medium, or large family?
Let's go with the sad small rogue family.
Oh, that's 0 family members.
Orphan.
My parents are dead!
Avenge them.
Oh, join the club. It's no big deal.
Batman-tastic. That gets you a +2 bonus to your strength and constitution. So if I jump on there, and what we can do is, if you click on the red circle, you can put your strength up like that.
Oh, okay.
And then that gives you a modifier. If you do the same thing in con, so if you click on the con button and change the base score to 12, that will jump up your character to the next ability level. Splendid. Okay, so that's your family sizes. That gives you an idea of how big your respective families might be. Next step is to look at your homelands. So what it says is that where you grow up is very formative, obviously. It does change the way you think, the way you do stuff, the way you approach things. So homeland-wise, in the desert, you might have grown up. I mean, it's not uniform, is it? There's mountains, there's hills, there's mesas, there's dunes, there's all sorts of stuff going on. There's the oases. So for this one, if everybody could roll a single D20. So starting with Simon on a 3. It's a frontier town, so towards the edge. So you're probably looking over sort of this sort of area. A frontier town gets you a choice of one of the following: farming law, fishing law, hunting law, scouting law, or knoll law. And you get to pick one of those that you can throw in. Actually, Alden, that wouldn't be for you. I'm looking at the wrong person. Simon, that wouldn't be you growing up there. That's dwarven territory. You're an elf. You could be anywhere.
Yeah.
But any one of those laws is still applicable.
Let's go with scouting law, whatever that is.
Scouting law just gives you sort of information on how to do scouting. If we're looking at tracking things and people, you can make a roll on scouting law, even if you can't make a roll on tracking or survival.
Okay. Where do law skills go?
Law skills on the character sheet appear down at the bottom of skills. There's a whole separate section called law. And what you do is you click on the plus button and then you type in the name of the law into the box it gives you. And then you give yourself a check mark under trained. So it says rank untrained. You change that to trained and it will give you a boost to it. Okay, and then Alden, you rolled an 8, which has you growing up in a cosmopolitan city. Oh dear.
That's me.
That's bad, because the only cities around are these bad boys. These cosmopolitan cities are run by vampires.
Oh, well.
Yes.
That's nice.
This might have created tensions.
You reckon?
It might. So you get to add either art law, guild law, legal law, or underworld law to your background options.
That's kidding. Well, obviously underworld.
How cool would it be though if you were like an attorney of law with your raccoon? Like
it sits on his head. It sits on his head and lays very still.
Yes. We don't want to unnerve people. It just stares at them. I say, Rocky.
Jim rolled a 3. That's a frontier town for you, Jim, and that's the one I was pointing at earlier. Probably this sort of area over here.
I've gone with knoll law.
You've gone for knoll law. Good choice. CJ got a 6, which is a simple village. So a lot of the areas around here, the little oases, have got little villages. Some are bigger than others. This is like the capital, if you like. of the tribe lands area. So you'll have grown up in a simple village. So you get herbalism law, midwifery law, milling law, tanning law, or alcohol law, or wagon law. Oh no, alcohol or wagon law you get as well as the other one. So you get
Oh.
2 law skills.
Ooh.
I'm just a Disney
Unfair.
princess at this point, aren't I?
So herbalism, midwifery, milling, tanning, and then either alcohol or wagon.
All right, let's do herbal alcohol. Let's make some gin.
Nice.
Moonshine.
Boom.
Gin in the desert as well. There's
Yeah.
pun potential there.
Oh yeah. Slightly hallucinogenic.
If you can make it tonic, if you can get tonic, with the
Malaria.
herbalism.
And we're right back with our pith hat
Yeah.
whelming,
Yes, hello.
wearing
Put up your ankle socks.
colonialists.
Excuse
No,
me, do we have
that's
any
the
lemon?
that's the marrieds that are the colonialists.
The marrieds are not colonialists.
I don't know. They
And I'm pressing the button. Okay, it's being pressed.
Make sure you press the right Simon button. Safino on a 10. That gets you growing up. Now, it would be in a metropolis, but obviously there aren't any metropoli. So instead, that would get you growing up on the front lines of an area torn by war. So that's somewhere sort of around here, potentially, or this sort of area, somewhere between either the Dragon Wealth or the Knoll Reaches, or even somewhere over towards the Great Gorge. There's conflict all around the outside of this area. So wherever you like in there.
Very
Sorry.
traumatic, but I could quite like to duck in somewhere near to the Dragon Wealth. Yeah.
Okie dokie. And that will get you either heraldry law, scouting law, or warfare law.
Don't like any of those. Well, have we got scouting law already, right?
We have. Warfare law is sort of
Yes.
tactics and strategy type stuff.
Well,
Heraldry is knowing who's who.
Yeah.
So if
Oh,
you
that
see
could be
someone
useful
coming-
actually for a
That strikes me
social
as
thing.
really
Yeah,
useful.
let's go for heraldry then. Yeah.
Heraldry, good shout. And Nye rolled a 1,
Yes, I did.
which means you grew up underground,
Wow.
drinking
Yay.
blue milk.
Yep, blue milk. Yeah.
A humble underground moisture farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably
So-
a good place to actually moisture farm in a desert. To be fair,
Yeah. So you get to
hole.
choose from one of engineering law, labor law, or mining law.
I will go for labor law because that sounds like a good.
you could start a union.
You've got to be able to
yeah.
like
Solidarity,
suck
brothers.
air through your
One
teeth and go,
Pratt's law.
it's not safe, mate.
No, it's not.
Can't put that there.
Protest being sent on
Untools.
these dangerous quests.
Yeah, don't cross the picket.
Yeah, no, never cross the picket, never.
Okay, so remember to bear these ideas in mind when you're
Yes.
considering how your background develops, the sort of bits of your heritage and background and where they sort of point you towards. The next one is a major childhood event. This is something that's happened during your childhood that has had a deeply influential effect on you and your upbringing. So it's another D20.
Oh, one.
Oh,
Oh
Is
no!
that a
what-
good one?
What? No, what will
Come on.
be?
they're not
sister.
particularly good or bad
Arm.
either way. They're kind of randomized as to what they are. They all represent.
Wow! Sorry.
stuff
I
that's
got a
happened.
1 and then a 20. So I'm quite.
So Jim, on a 13,
Unlucky for some.
as a child, you were lost in the wilderness,
Oh,
Okay.
which gets you a free feat. It gets you the survey wildlife feat,
Okay.
which
that
gives
you
you the
ask them
ability to sort of
questions?
identify. No, it means on a scale of 1 to 10.
just a moment. Of your time. Just a moment of your time,
Yes. Excuse me. Just
Mi-
no. Oh, sorry.
Mr.
That means
Zebra.
you can
Mr.
kind of
Zebra.
tell what animals are and where they are and what's going on with them and
So
stuff
is
like
this
that.
under bonus feat?
Yes, yeah, that would be a bonus feat.
Survey wilderness, yeah?
Yes.
Nice.
Bowden on a 7 claimed an inheritance.
Yay!
Get you. You can choose an extra piece of common adventuring gear worth 15 gold or less, or you can be trained in society.
Do I have to decide now?
I would take the stuff if I was you. Trained in society as a druid.
It says
Yeah,
actually
it's
here, it
not
says if you
gonna-
select it instead of a feat, you get society and the 15, I think.
I'm just more curious the fact that it's like you have inheritance and you also get good social skills from that. Great.
Often works.
Oh, I
either
see. No,
way.
if you take it instead of a skill feat, so if you have this instead of a background feat, so you could ditch one of your background feats and have society training instead. So go with the item because the feats are probably better. Safino facilities. On a 1, you are abandoned in a distant land. So at some
Oh
point
my
in your youth,
So harsh.
you were abandoned far away from home,
in a war
possibly in the
zone.
Dragon Reach. Dragon Wealth.
They just
Not
left
Reach,
me there.
Dragon Wealth. Just
Safino,
abandoned.
when I meet your character in game, I'm just gonna give you a hug. You
Yeah,
just
please.
had such a rough life.
Oh, I'm so sorry, mate.
It's been rough. I was
It
born
does
in
get you the skill feat multilingual, though.
Oh, it's swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
It was character building.
Yeah. Oh God.
Quite literally in this case. CJ,
Oh,
a 19.
psychic anguish.
You witnessed a war.
Oh.
You grew up
That's
against
a
the
90.
backdrop of a major conflict.
All right.
So even as a child, you had to learn how to care for the sick. You get the battle medicine skill feat,
Nice.
Sounds useful.
which will be very handy.
Yeah.
So do I just type that in here or?
In your background, that there should be a section under feats. So on your character sheet, there's a tab for feats, and skill feats. Just type it in there.
That was battle medicine?
Battle medicine, yeah.
Whoa. With the alcohol would be great.
Yeah, just pour it in the wounds,
Yeah. Sterilize it.
It burns, but so good.
Simon, do you want to go with abandoned in a distant land, or do you want to re-roll so you've got a different one to everybody else?
Can I re-roll and compare the two?
Yes.
I will do that then.
13. That was also Lost in the Wilderness. If you
Okay.
prefer, you could take Academy Trained or Meta Fantastic Creature.
Ooh. Cool.
Say hello.
Hello.
Just I'm having a look what recognized spell does.
Okay, Nye, while we're doing that, on a 20,
No problem.
you won a competition.
Oh wow.
You distinguished yourself at an early
Monopoly.
age in winning a competition. You
colouring
decide what the kind of competition is. It could quite literally have been anything from
Anything.
like a skill-based competition.
Shooting
that's
one
appropriate.
prats.
Yeah, I was actually like, no joke. I was
Some
actually
sort of
thinking.
sand chariot race.
I was thinking of getting like an archery contest or something.
Yeah,
Just-
that's absolutely
yeah,
fine. Bullseyeing
that-
womp rats in your T16 back home.
I swear it was an accident.
This gets you the fascinating performance skill
Oh,
feat.
awesome.
Ooh.
So when you are shooting, you can make it look cool while you're doing it.
Oh, perfect. I definitely need that.
I think that's going to be things like your ricochet shots.
Yeah.
and He split Robin's arrow in twain.
Oh, perfect. I'm loving it.
Simon, what are your thoughts?
I've got a character concept in my mind, and the abandoned sort of I think fits it the most.
Okay.
Although the Academy Train does look good.
What sort of concept are you going
I'm
for?
just imagining that my character's actually sort of a bit of an amnesiac.
Okay.
And
Survived
so-
a disaster.
What?
Survived a disaster might work then.
Oh,
You
where's
witnessed
that?
and survived a major disaster. Add the quick repair skill.
It doesn't strike me as a repairing-y type, though. That's the thing.
Well, so you're thinking maybe academy trained but forgotten about the academy. You just have these
Yeah,
skills
that's
and you
what I
don't
was
know
kind
why.
of thinking, actually.
Yeah.
Pub
No,
Got
that's
like a load
cool.
of knowledge in his head, and he's not quite sure where it's all
Yeah.
come from.
So you choose one of Arcana, Occultism, or Society, or you can
What-
select an additional law.
What's the difference between Arcana and Occultism?
Arcana is sort of the knowledge of magic items and spells and how they work and what they do.
Yeah.
Occultism is knowledge of woobly things that go bump in the night.
I think I'm going to go for
It's like
There's a
it's
crossover
like-
between the two.
yeah,
I think
Arcana
I'm
is
gonna
like
go for
hard science, and then like
I think I'm going to go for
occultism.
Arcana because he's got the detect magic thing, so that's sort of, I think,
Yeah. No, I'm
makes,
with you all the way there.
makes sense.
Okay, the next step is to look at an influential associate.
Ooh.
And these are potentially just one of the key figures that shaped your upbringing. You choose what format that took. It is again a D20 roll. CJ's in first this time with a 19.
Ooh.
A wanderer.
Of
Someone who
course.
traveled from place to place with the changing of the wind. Minstrel,
yeah.
merchant, outcast, mercenary.
Okay.
You gain a dexterity boost, so +2 dexterity,
Oh, nice.
which is exactly what you want as a
That's
rogue.
what you need. Yes.
Jim on a 16. A
Right.
pariah, a disgraced exile.
Oh no.
That gets you a +2 wisdom boost.
Nice.
Teaches you not to trust everyone you meet and makes you question things like social hierarchies.
Where do we put the contact? Is that just in background?
In your notes or your backgrounds,
Yeah, yeah.
anywhere there's a space to scribble something down, and then you get a
Okay.
+2 wisdom.
Okay. Just a quick question. You know,
Yeah, go ahead.
at the beginning you said about ancestry boosts. Do we add
Yes.
them in or not?
No, I'm going to let you pick those at the end to put them
Oh,
where you
okay.
want them.
No problem.
So that was that one. Aldoon, 17. A relative. Oh, especially close to a relative growing up. They represent family and shepherd you into adulthood, teaching you everything you know. Uncle, aunt, cousin, older brother or sister, what have you. That gets you a +2 constitution boost. I quite like. I can see you actually having sort of a disreputable uncle or aunt that was like, "No, you don't want to listen to those guys, mate. You want to be a druid."
Yes.
Gets pissed up, tells you how to live your life.
Ah, yes. Everyone has that. In my case, I have several.
Facilities with a 9. The Fool. One of your close associates mocked propriety and custom, engaged in wild and random actions. There is a simple wisdom to that, and that taught you to be wise and cast off concern. So you get a +2 wisdom boost.
Okay. Well, that sounds about right. It doesn't seem like I had many strong parental
No.
role models around.
Oh.
Been abandoned. But yeah, okay. I went with a jester instead who taught me their wisdom. Cool.
Yeah. Simon, same again with the 9.
Yeah.
So a fool that teaches you to cast off worldly concerns. If you prefer, we could go either side of that with the Fiend or the Hunter.
Ooh. I like the sound of the Fiend. That sounds good fun.
So at some point, a fiend appeared to you in the desert and tried to tempt you, or maybe even did tempt you successfully and possessed you. You had a strength bonus, so +2 strength.
Thank you.
Dodgy elves.
Nye, on a
Yes.
14, a mercenary influenced you.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, you could not write this stuff down, could you?
No.
Are we sure you've not rigged roll 20?
Help me,
Hacked in.
Wally Obe. You're on.
A mercenary who you met. There's always a cost. No deed comes without a trade. I don't know. I can imagine quite a lot.
Yeah.
You respected their cynical dealings.
Oh, God.
Love it.
Magic. Absolutely.
You add a +2 strength bonus, which is still very, very useful
yeah,
to
definitely.
exactly what you need.
Yeah, for Bowman.
At least we know who the bad guy's going to be. Nice dad.
Simon. Simon, as the only elf, you have been granted a re-roll that you can use at any point whenever you want to now from
cool.
a Twitch viewer who says, as the only elf, you can re-roll anything you want in character creation.
Oh, thank you.
And slightly more worrying, Jason says, Farm Boy Spectacular sounds like a male stripper group.
Yeah.
It does sound like a male stripper group. If it's any consolation, it sounds like quite a classy one.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Like a sort of it's one that was founded by Channing Tatum.
Oh, well, then.
Cool.
I mean, that's high quality male stripper
I
group,
think
isn't
The
it?
we
Magic
could all
Mike
get in
live
on
show
that,
is
actually.
really classy.
Yeah. All right, so
Somebody
when the
press the
adventure's
Simon
over,
Yeah, button.
Okay, moving on.
Not that Simon button, the other Simon button.
Remember, it takes a lot of blood sacrifice to get the other one back in.
Okay, step 5 is your relationships. So this starts to be where you have relationships with other characters. So it gives you sort of a guidance towards one of the other PCs and lets you forge a connection with them. It gets you a bonus from this, not them. So only one of you gets the bonus, but it gives you an in with another character. It is a D12 roll this time. And Simon, don't forget you got a reroll just in case you need it.
I know. I'm just little.
Well, it's just going to have us fighting over who gets to be Simon's friend.
Yeah, it's gonna
another
just be
one.
Really
I'm starting to
harsh
feel a little
now.
bit jealous here because Nye has the gothiest window out of everybody at the minute. I might just turn off my light.
it fits his character a little bit
There.
as well. Now.
Yeah.
Alex, and finally, I've got something different to somebody else.
Hey.
Yeah,
Okay,
we've been
so-
dice buddies.
CJ, there's a problem with your dexterity. It should be 12, not 8.
I think on my character sheet it says 12.
It does. I don't know why it says. Oh, maybe you rolled your dex or something. No problem.
I clicked. I clicked.
Yeah,
on it.
that's me reading it wrong. Ignore me. So first up on the relationships roll with a 5, Aldun, a kindly witch. This character connected you to a kindly but reclusive person who is living at the edge of civilization. So one of the other characters who's from the edge of civilization has been connected to you by a kindly witch, and you also gain the natural medicine skill feat. So take a look on the map, see who you want to connect with, who's sort of out there on the edges.
Sounds like
You
a
got
dating
kind
profile.
of Safino
Does,
over
doesn't it?
there.
Do you want-
Swipe left.
Sorry.
You got kind of Rain over here.
I feel really sorry for Safino, so I think it's going to be a him. Kindly witch kind of. looks us
So
up.
a kindly witch has connected the two of you. So that's a connection that you have. You both met this kindly witch who joined you together, and in the
Use
process, Aldun.
adultwitchfinder.com.
Dude,
Can you
she was
remember her
sweet,
name?
man. No, I can't remember much though.
Oh, players, I see what you're doing right there.
Whoa.
Can you remember this NPC's name? No, I only just read about her. Make her up now.
Well, to be fair, it might well be they just got stoned together and thought the tree was the witch.
It's also possible.
The raccoon keeps running off with my stash, man.
Or maybe the witch was a witch of the mind.
It's nice out here, though, isn't it? In the desert,
It's
just
nice. Yeah.
looking
Right.
at the stars.
Jim.
So many stars.
Hello.
While you and this character were young, you worked together to nurse sick animals back to health.
Adorable.
Adorable. Means you get the
Oh.
train animal skill feat to add to your background.
Okay.
And you pick someone with whom you might have learned to train animals.
I suppose it's got to be the gnome, really, isn't it? With
It
his,
does kind of make sense
yeah.
with his raccoon hat.
It's
So
no
it's-
hat, man.
train animal, yeah.
Train animals as a skill feat. Yeah. Sofino, same again. Unless you want to re-roll or take a 2.
I'll take a 2.
Okay, that's a comrade in arms. You did military service with one of the other characters.
Who has anyone got any army type military stuff in their history?
I think I was the product of war.
There you go.
There you go.
We were comrades in arms.
There you go. And that gets you the assurance skill feat for athletics.
Sure.
So if you take the athletics skill, you'll be extra good at it.
Useful for a sorcerer
Who wants
Maybe.
to run away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running is a skill.
Yeah.
CJ. Oh no, a missing child.
Of course.
When a young relative disappeared in a busy market, this character helped you. Who would have helped you find a missing child? The grumpy dwarf, the farm
I would
boy.
say that I would actually say either the grumpy dwarf or the farm boy. Probably the grumpy dwarf, more likely.
There you go, Jim. Not only did you help look after animals, you also helped find missing children. Your reputation is shot. CJ, that gets you the hobnobber skill feat,
Yes, hobnobbing.
Knobbing those hobs.
which is basically it makes you better at talking to people.
Okay, sorry.
Doesn't get you hobnobs, does it?
Doesn't get you hobnobs.
Murder a
Oh.
hobnob.
Guys, I miss hobnobs now. What you do?
Oh, wow, that was so good.
Gordon,
CJ
what's your
used to
character
work with
called?
me in Stevenage. Rain.
Rain.
Reighne.
Yep. Yeah.
CJ used to work with me when I was living in Hertfordshire and working in Stevenage, but managed to escape the country and flee back to Canada. But that does mean she now misses out on all of the cool British food and has to eat stuff like poutine instead.
Yeah, poutine and maple syrup. Just drink it.
Moose steaks.
Yep.
But no roast beef or fish and chips or vindaloo.
We have all of those.
British cuisine.
It's the only 3 things you can eat in Britain, isn't it?
Don't forget chicken korma.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Nye with a 7.
Yep.
A magician supported your brief dalliance with stage magic.
It was a phase.
Sort of
it was a phase.
hand-waving
Love it.
tricks that you
Yeah.
can
Love it,
do.
love it, love it, love it, love it.
These aren't the droids you're looking for. Who would have
Oh.
supported you with that and given you access to the subtle theft skill feat?
Ooh.
Well, it would have to be the rogue then if I was.
So that would be Rain, yeah.
Yeah.
Really,
you've all
it's
got
the
these-
raccoon.
Well, I was
It was
tempted.
the raccoon that actually taught him.
I don't actually know the druid. I know the raccoon personally, and only the raccoon.
Yeah, that's the way I like it. I hide behind the raccoon, to be honest.
Damn it, you're gnome Pocahontas.
The colors of the wind, man.
Oh, the raccoon in that was a massive dick.
You haven't met the
Yeah,
tree yet.
arguably, yeah.
Simon Button.
And Twitter has lit up.
But
Oh.
stealing
Alright.
food for another animal that beats it up.
The other animal was entitled.
Yes.
Oh, the raccoon
Punk.
is.
And a
Wasn't entitled. He
colonialist.
wasn't
Sorry, I
doing anything. He
misheard.
dragged all over the
Button.
ocean.
Button. I think it's broken at this point. I've hit it so many times.
All right, challenging relationship. The next
I
one.
haven't done my one.
Oh, have you not done your one? Sorry, Simon. 9. A patron of the arts encouraged you to perform.
I think I'm.
It's Monkey Boy.
Which one of these characters might have
don't know where
encouraged
that
you
came
to
from.
I think I
indulge?
might use my reroll now. Actually,
Why? That sounds like a great.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh,
Ah!
what a wasted reroll.
I
So-
know. I'm really. Please apologise to the person who gave that to me.
The great curse of the Roll20 reroll is somehow it likes giving you the same roll again.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's now what I'm learning is from my players in another game who the Roll20 seems to be, desperate to mess them around. And now
Would
on
you
the other,
prefer to have had religious training with someone?
I think that's even less likely. I think honestly,
Mm.
I think virtuosic performer.
Virtuosic performer.
I'm trying to remember who's who actually. So Safino is the
Sorcerer,
The
sorcerer.
child of war.
who's a
and
child of
sorcerer.
war.
Child of war.
Orphan. The sad,
Sorry?
sad orphan.
Gnomes are renowned for their musical
Yeah,
enthusiasm.
Or the
Enthusiasm,
or
that is the
raccoons.
best word.
Raccoons.
Not skill, but enthusiasm.
Well, that is what
Ah.
Simon in real life's musical kind of leanings are.
Basically, it's volume
Cool
over
report.
Jay's
talent.
the human rogue.
Yeah, you got
Jim.
human rogue, human sorcerer, human fighter, gnomish druid,
Dude.
and dwarven cleric.
I have a
None of us really sound that musical, actually. Come to think
feel
of it.
like it's either going to be the dwarven cleric or the gnome druid who sort of like picked me up in the wilderness.
Hey, man.
But I was wandering around amnesiac.
Hey, take
So maybe
these
you
little
travelled
help,
with some
dude.
wandering gnomes for a while. That
Yeah.
makes the most sense for
Yeah.
the music thing. There
Hey,
you go.
Gnome Circus.
Gnome
I was the giant.
communities.
I was the giant. I played the giant gnome in the gnome circus. Yeah.
Oh god. Oh.
Gnome communities do often travel around from place to place,
Yeah,
doing
no, that seems fair.
entertainment and
I'll go with that
musical
then.
stuff.
Yep.
Right, next up we've got challenging relationships.
She gave you a
These,
wig, Simon.
these do
you
still
really
give you
colourful.
stat boosts and skill boosts, so worry not.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
So D12 again.
Oh,
D12.
good
Oh,
job.
I've got to find the right button.
Not the Simon button. Not the Simon button.
How many of us have got called before the judges?
So, oh, hang on, where am I starting?
Wow.
Oh no, I've lost where I'm starting. Simon, that 9 was from your previous one, so it's Jim. Jim on a 5. Mercantile expertise. You worked hard to show off how well you could do, but someone else got hired instead of you anyway.
Okay.
But you do get the bargain hunter skill feat.
Oh,
Bargain
Does that
hunt.
come with a strange tan?
Haggling.
Oh, haggling, right.
Yeah.
Cash in the
No.
attic.
Yeah.
bargain hunt, yeah. Skill
Yeah.
feat.
Yep. CJ on a 7. Someone warned of your affections.
No.
Oh no, you warned someone else off of someone they fancied,
Ah.
and you to this day you stand by that decision. Like, no, that one's not for you.
Is
So
that
who
just
do you
me?
think you might have done that to?
Sorry, hold on. So
You warned one of the other players off of a relationship, and they're a
Okay.
bit bitter about it, but you maintain that it was the right choice.
Ooh. Oh, we are a close group then.
Yeah, we are. Gee. Who wants to
I-
bite the bullet?
I didn't
I
realize we were doing teenage drama.
Oh,
I would have come
Uh,
up with a different concept.
if you haven't noticed, I'm just a Disney princess. I'm an orphan, child of war. Had to find my kid family member with a dwarf.
You do not have a comedy animal sidekick, though.
No,
you
but
go.
you do.
And the gnome could probably qualify as the comedy sidekick in and of himself.
Oh, you went there, you
Oh.
pointy-eared bastard.
Just you wait until he gets his
Good.
watermelon sidekick.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I just had to.
I can't believe you jumped straight to using racial slurs.
CJ, that does get you the quick coercion skill feat.
Oh,
Ooh, that sounds fun for a rogue.
I mean,
I am a teenage girl.
Yeah. Simon, do you need to change your name tag to read Karen?
Oh yeah, that's there. Debbie. I'd probably be. Is it Sofino's character? I can't remember the name. Would probably make the most sense.
He's
The
already
sorcerer.
got a tough life as it is.
Facile.
Paizo.
Facile, yeah.
Yeah.
Sofino, you're getting 2 hugs now.
Oh.
I feel really...
Just make it.
Why are you...
Heartbroken, abandoned child of war, dumped in a foreign country with no friends or family.
Hey man,
I'm
I'm
sorry,
I
here.
really
don't wanna
I've got
play
no
this
friends or
character.
family either.
But I'm still
I've just
smiling.
got my- Yeah, still smiling. Still smiling.
Oh. Alden,
Smiling
on
behind the
4.
Hello.
You have long considered one of the other characters to be your rival in a question of strength.
Question of strength.
Oh, gee.
You are determined to prove yourself the mightier.
Who has the noodliest of the arms?
I actually don't know.
I mean, my strength's 14 at the moment.
Well, not you then.
I need to check my strength, actually. I think it's pretty good.
Well, I think you just started beef with the elf. It's got to be Simon.
Yeah, fair.
Not in strength, though. That's absurd.
Well,
It-
maybe
the
the...
hefty hauler skill feat.
That means I can carry more stuff.
It does mean you can carry more stuff.
Oh god, that'll be funny.
Simon, 3. Called before the judges. One of the others dropped you in it.
Hello.
It might not be that. They might, there might be an academic. Yeah, no, who are we kidding? I got wrecked out.
Oh, it could be
Yeah.
your Viper. You're right. It could be.
Oh
It could
God,
have been-
no!
it could have been like-
I've done one of those before. I don't want to ever do one of those again.
It could have been like a medical thing. You were taken before people are like, look, seriously, this dude's got something wrong with him. He can't remember anything.
Whoa.
That does sound right, and I feel like the person who's probably most likely to go, let's poke and prod this fellow and see what's going on, is the sorcerer.
Well, everybody's...
So that gets you the group impression skill feat.
Does that do?
It's basically fast talk, but on a group instead of on an individual.
Ooh.
What happened to poor old Facile? Facile was also called before the judges. But if you don't like that, you can take an accusation of theft instead.
Yeah, that sounds so much better.
So
Come on.
someone accused you of stealing something, and you were so determined to steal it back that you tried to pickpocket it from them, only to find out that it wasn't their fault and you had actually lost it. You thought someone had nicked something of yours,
Right.
so you learned how to steal things to get it back from them, only to find out that they didn't have it and you'd actually put it somewhere safe.
Oh God, that's terrible.
That's
I know, right?
awkward, isn't it?
It's all those years
You
of mistrust
bastard.
growing up in the frontier in the wildlands.
I've got problems, man. So looking back,
Dude, remember that night we looked at the stars? Just
That's
go
right.
to that point, man.
try and focus on the good times. But
Yeah.
so I've
The fewer and fewer good
backtracked.
times.
I met a witch with the gnome.
Yeah,
Rain
man.
and I were comrades in arms in the army. Rain also broke up a relationship that I was in. I'm still bitter about that. But
Maybe that's what
starting
you were
to be
trying to
in.
steal back.
Oh, wow, man.
ooh, could that
Oh,
work? No.
jeez. Oh.
I tried to steal back their heart. No.
Well, the
But
relation just said it broke up a relationship. It didn't say it had to be with a person.
That's true. That is true.
This
My-
Oh, that's so sad.
My relationship with the
Wow.
truth. Or...
this is my favorite spoon. No, you cannot. Old, rusty. You gotta get rid of it. Throws it in a lake. I'm bitter now.
Rain still maintains that you should have thrown that spoon away. It's a
Oh yeah. Of course. You would have got 10 spoons.
So now so there's my existing relation. And also there was some court case that Simon's character was in and that I was involved.
Well, that's
in...
an alternative if you don't want the because you called before
No,
judges.
no. I
but
mean,
if you-
No, he was involved.
Oh, he
I
was
would-
involved.
Like,
in
yeah.
that.
So even though he
just-
doesn't get the stat, it's still
Right.
relevant.
Yeah, I think to connect it all up, then I should have done this to Jim's dwarf to kind of pull the strings together a bit more. But
Okay. Yeah.
I was I thought I'd lost something, and I thought Jim's character had stolen it. I learned how to steal in order to get it back, but then realised that it was me who'd lost it in the first place.
Or even it wasn't lost; it was in your
It
pocket
was
all along.
inside you
Yeah.
all along, man.
Maybe it was really the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. It's
Or
not the
perhaps it was-
destination.
It's a
was some
rusty
kind of-
spoon.
And Nye,
My spoon.
Yes.
you
I
too
got-
have a rival in a question of strength,
Oh, dear
Ooh.
Lord.
I think mine's okay.
which gets you the hefty hauler skill feat.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. I like the sound of that.
Still kind of
Uh,
useful for you, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Right.
Huge backpacks.
All those. Yeah. You can carry little green guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Box. It's just really
Well,
useful.
yeah. The gnome just pop in the back.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Right.
Faster.
Who would
This is
I?
going to be an awesome arm wrestle between the two of you. So that gives you some background connections between each other.
Oh, tension, I think, in this.
Oh, it's such a hot mess already.
I didn't intend for any of this, but I like where it's going.
Right, and then
Oh,
everybody
God.
can choose 2 ability boosts
Ooh, ooh.
of your choice.
God, I've got to
whatever
pay
you
attention
like.
again. What? What's happening?
Ability boosts. Choose any 2.
Okay. I would probably say for me, Dex and Strength. Dex for the bow, and then Strength to increase the both, because you need both for bows.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, yes, you do. You can do.
Dex for aiming, strength for damage.
Is that what the rules are now for everything, or just ranged weapons?
No, that's sort of bows.
Ben, what would spears be under? Are they strength or dex?
Spears will be strength, yeah, unless you're throwing them, in which case they'll be dex.
And coercion is charisma.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so then I'd probably do dex and charisma for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dex for a rogue is good for all of the nimble pinchy things, and charisma is good for all of the fast talk. I didn't do it, Gov. You ain't seen nothing
Yeah, basically.
side of things.
And we can't put 2 boosts on one.
No, you shouldn't
No.
put 2 boosts on one thing at this.
How great would that be? Okay, I'm going to put 4 on one trait, and then now I am a god at level 1.
Just that one thing.
And you can't take anything above 18 at
Yeah.
this point either.
No, not anywhere near that with anything yet. So
No, you won't be.
I'll put charisma and constitution.
Con's always good. Always want more
I'll
health.
put 2 into wisdom then. Okay.
People are loving the raccoon.
Yeah, the raccoon is now.
Hasn't even
He is
turned
going
up
to be the
yet.
hero of this
Yeah.
story.
The raccoon is getting a lot of popularity.
The lovable raccoon.
Yeah.
Tedious.
Well, I
Which
think
is
we know
great,
who the
'cause now
better
I have to
rival
play
is.
a damn raccoon all the bloody time.
Yeah.
So then do I just put the so on the base score adjusted, or
Yes. So what you do is on the character sheet, you click on the little star and you change the score base up by 2.
okay, cool.
So if you're putting it in Dex, you change your 12 to a 14, and Kajunk up it goes.
All right, awesome.
So at the minute, everybody has had 1, 2, 3, 4 stat boosts.
If we've had
Yep.
2 just now, we should have all had 5.
5.
I think I have 5.
Yeah, I've had
5.
5.
Okay,
yeah.
good. 5 is good.
Yeah, 4 because we got
There will be 1 or 2 more to go.
5. Whoa.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, that means I think that there's
5.
2 more to go.
Oh, we're gonna have to.
But that's okay. Right, and then we get into the classes.
Doogie doogie.
Someone on YouTube says, "Is Nye playing a thief because he seems to be hiding in shadows?"
Ooh.
No, I just have shit lighting. Really crappy lighting.
It's very flattering, though.
Oh yes, yes. I look very svelte. My face looks very.
I have hair jealousy because all the light does for me is show up just how bold I am.
That's not funny. No, I should not laugh.
No,
at that.
there's,
No,
there's
no, it's not
nowhere
funny
we
at all.
can go with that.
Don't worry,
No.
Jim's wearing a hat.
Yeah.
I know the truth
To
of
hide,
things.
yeah, to hide my boldness. Yeah.
All right, cleric.
Mhm.
Jim the cleric, the dwarven cleric. Did you said you were thinking about either going for Great Azh'Kars or Kamari, the hyena lady?
Great Azh'Kars.
Good shout. He is the desert and the god of the desert and the god. He is all things as one. A great uncaring lord of the wilds.
Oh, he sounds true.
Okay.
So, as a cleric, you are trained in perception. So these are character sheet mods.
Ooh. How do I put that in?
Oh, right. So you would.
Hold on a second. I think I've got it.
You've dropped a name.
Yeah, I've got it.
So,
I've got it.
yeah, you switch untrained to trained in perception.
Yeah.
Then in your saving throws, you are trained in fortitude and reflex, and you are expert in will.
Say that again, sorry.
Trained in fortitude and reflex saves, expert in will saves.
So trained in fortitude.
Are you Greg Sandspeaker?
Yeah. And say again, sorry, reflex.
So you're trained in fortitude, you're trained in reflex, and you're expert in will.
Okay.
So the rank in will goes up to E for expert. So yeah, 4, 3, 7 are your saves, which are quite snacky. And then skill wise, you are trained in religion.
Yep.
You are trained in one of your God's chosen skills. You can pick which one.
Is there a survival? Yeah, survival.
Yes, survival was one of the ones for Great Azh'Kars because it kind of has to be. And then you get a number of additional skills equal to 2 plus your intelligence modifier.
That's 2.
There you go.
Okay, and I can choose anything there, or
anything you like from those. Yes.
Okay. Society.
Yeah.
And nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also get +2 boost to your wisdom.
Okay.
And then when it comes to weapons that you're trained in, you are trained in simple weapons.
Yep.
Oh, trained in deity's favorite weapon. Have you got the document there?
I've got it up.
Okay.
Which one was it?
Bottom. Last couple of pages.
Favorite weapon for Azh'Kars is spear.
Spear. Yeah. So you're trained in spear. So you've got simple trained, and then you can add other. So, for example, spear, although I think spear is a simple weapon anyway.
Okay. Okay.
And you are trained in unarmed attacks.
Unarmed attacks.
Yes.
Okay.
At the minute, you're untrained in armor, but that will change if you choose to be a war priest.
Okay.
You are trained in unarmored defense. So if you go up to your armor class
Yeah.
and open that up,
Yeah.
unarmored, you can change to trained. Then some of those others will change if you go war priest.
Okay.
And then
Thank
you're
you.
also trained in divine spell attacks and divine spell DCs.
Oh, where's that?
Yeah.
Would that be under
Also-
spells?
Yeah. So spell attack,
Yeah, divine.
trained. Yeah, rank trained.
Okay.
And spell DC as well, rank trained. Magical traditions, divine. Trained. Splendid. Okay.
Thank you.
Did
Ex-
you want to go for a cloistered cleric or a war priest?
A war priest, please.
I thought you might somehow. Trained in light and medium armor.
Okay. Light up, medium. Yeah.
You gain the shield block general feat.
Sure.
Oh, this is exciting because a spear is a simple weapon. You get a feat called Deadly Simplicity, which is a cleric feat.
Okay. Deadly. That's a class feat. Yep.
Yep. That actually increases the size of the damage dice that you use for a spear. So normally a
Okay.
spear does a D6, but in your hands it does a D8
Okay. Cool.
because it carries the stabbings of your god.
Okay.
Nice. Is religion fun?
Okay.
There we go. You also get a cleric feat on top
Okay.
of that, and you can choose. You can't choose Deadly Simplicity because you've got it. Domain Initiate, which is a special spell related to specific powers. Harming Hands, Healing Hands, Holy Castigation, or Reach Spell.
What's holy castigation?
You do damage to devils and demons as though they were undead.
Okay. What were the other ones again? Sorry.
Domain Initiate,
Yeah, we'll do
Harming
that.
Hands. Domain Initiate is a good one
Yeah.
to go for.
Yeah.
And we'll sort out a domain later on.
Okay.
You can choose whether to be a harming cleric or a healing cleric.
It's got to be a healing cleric, really, hasn't it? Just
It's the sensible choice.
yes.
Don't think Amos have any healing unless Amos is really good at medicine.
Yeah.
Where
Here
do
you go.
we,
You
where,
al- Oh, sorry. You get the Gust of Wind spell for free at level 1 as well as a known spell
Okay.
that you can cast.
that's a level 1 spell, is it?
Yes.
Gust of wind. Okay.
And that's you pretty much done.
Okay.
Obviously, we can think about equipment and stuff like that, but I'm going to start everybody off with like a class-specific pack anyway,
Yeah.
Okay.
because it makes life a bit easier.
Yep.
I'm not, when it comes to GMing, I'm not one of the count every arrows, count every ounce of
Okay.
encumbrance that
Yeah.
you resource management GMs, because I find that really hard to get on with.
Yeah. No problem.
So seriously, I cannot believe how much love that raccoon is getting.
That hasn't turned up yet.
It hasn't even shown up,
Yeah.
and it's the most popular thing in the show.
That's...
Right.
Oh,
Speaking of
that's,
raccoons, Druid.
Hey, dude.
Druid proficiencies.
Yeah, man.
Right, you are trained in perception.
What?
You're trained in perception. Then
It's
you
a
are
family joke.
also.
I'd like to thank my dad for that joke. Thank you, Dad.
Hey, where would we be without dad jokes?
Yeah.
You are also trained in saving throws, fortitude, and reflex,
Awesome.
and you are an expert in will saves.
Yeah, man.
You are trained in the nature skill,
Mhm.
and because you're going to be a leaf druid, you're trained in diplomacy as well.
So such a nonsense, but yes.
A raccoon, opens doors.
Yeah.
Whoa, man. Like my hat.
You are
Not a
also
hat.
trained in a number of additional skills equal to 2+ your intelligence modifier.
Yes. I'll figure that out at some point.
You trained in simple weapons and unarmed attacks.
Mhm.
You're trained in light and medium armor and unarmored defense.
Yeah, yes.
And then in spells, you're trained in druid spells, primal spell attacks, and trained in primal spells.
Yes. So,
And then because you're a leaf druid, you also gain the benefit of the Goodberry order spell. Always handy. Delicious snacks for the road.
yes.
And the thing you've been waiting for, you gain the Leshy Familiar Druid feat.
We are root.
Little
Raccoon and Groot.
diddy
Legally
plant guy.
distinct.
Yes, no, of course. Just in the same way that
G
I'm
root.
Lucas
Yeah.
Sands Runner, and it's Moot and Mocket,
I thought Luca Pathfinder.
into one trade battle into another.
You also get one extra focus point in your focus pool.
Yes.
But there you go. And you're not allowed to commit wanton cruelty to plants.
No,
You think you can
man.
handle that?
I can do my best, man.
No wanton cruelty to plants.
I really respect you.
So that makes you an anti-vegetarian. You can't eat.
No,
veg.
you're allowed to eat
No,
them.
you-
That's for survival. But you're not
Apparently
allowed to
isn't
just
wanton
like
cruelty.
run into the field and start hitting watermelons with sticks for fun value.
No, man, what are you doing?
But I could
What
do
a-
that, right?
Watermelons have feelings too.
Right. And then you get your druid feats. You've already taken an animal companion, though, haven't you?
Accomplice.
Oh, yeah, you took accomplice. You can also have, oh my God.
Just
You can also
like
have an animal
like
companion.
a horde, just like a menagerie.
Not even getting into the summon animal companion spells.
We haven't even
Yeah.
got
No,
there.
not yet.
We haven't
Yeah,
got
you're-
there, and he's
No,
already got.
I can summon fungus.
a
You're
fruit.
basically Snow White at this point, just like
So,
Oh.
animal companion
La, la, la,
is
la,
not.
la.
Oh no, wait, you can't have that because. Oh no, you can. Oh no, you're not an animal order one, so you
No,
can't have that.
not. No,
Oh, thank God for that. So you can have a reach spell, or
what then?
widen spell, or
yeah.
wild shape. Oh no, you can't have wild shape. Ha.
No.
Reach spell or widen spell you can have then.
I think I like reach more than I like widen. So reach.
For the stars, climb every mountain. Right, fighter. Yay, something easy at last.
oh yes, you can hit things with your arrows.
At first level,
Yeah.
Well,
you
you probably
gain the
can't.
following things. You are expert in perception.
Yes.
You are expert in fortitude and reflex saves.
Yep.
You are trained in will saves.
Yep.
You are trained in either acrobatics or athletics.
I think I picked acrobatics.
Of course you
I'm
did,
pretty
because
sure.
otherwise you'll never be able to do those Jedi flips.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And additional skills equal to 3+ your intelligence modifier.
Okay. I think I actually pick them, but I don't know if it's relevant to mention them right now.
No, that's cool. You can pick
Yep.
what you like. That's one of the good things here.
Oh, okay. Cool.
In your attacks, you are an expert in simple weapons,
Mhm.
expert in martial weapons,
Okay.
trained in advanced weapons, and expert in unarmed attacks even. It really is. You
just
can hit
strictly.
things.
Yep.
Defense-wise, you are trained in all armor and in unarmored defense.
Yep.
And then feat-wise, you get your fighter advancement power. So you get attack of opportunity,
Yeah. And
shield block,
and assurance athletics.
You got that from your background.
Oh, on my background. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you get a fighter feat as well.
I'm going to go for point blank shot because it sounds. Is that applicable?
Good choice. Yes, that's a great one to start off with the bow.
Yes. It's the only one that
you can
looks
shoot them in the face when they're close.
Yes.
It also makes you less likely to shoot your colleagues.
Yep.
Thank you.
And I wanted to go longbow, and that was the only thing the longbow couldn't do was shoot people close. So I was like, haha, my trap card.
Got no rangers, got no monks, so we're up to Rain the Rogue.
Yay.
Hey, CJ.
Hey.
Awfully quiet, sat there in your corner.
I still am slightly teaching at the same time.
Wow, multitasking. Props.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
Okay, so as a rogue, you are expert in perception, because somebody needs to be.
Yeah.
You are trained in fortitude.
Hold on. Okay, so trained in fortitude.
Yep. And expert in reflex and will.
All right.
Does a tasty reflex save. You are trained in stealth.
Okay.
Brace yourself for this. You're trained in 7 plus your intelligence modifier extra skills because rogues.
Yeah.
And then you also get additional ones depending on what racket you go for. Do you want to be a ruffian, a scoundrel, or a thief?
What's a ruffian?
Don't attack me too hard. Or I might become a scallywag.
Ruffians are like the bruisery ones, like they're closest to fighters. Scoundrels are the smooth talking, like silver tongued, and then thief is just, I'm gonna nick your wallet.
Yeah.
I would probably say scoundrel. I want to feel
scoundrels are cool. It's the ones that are closest to bards. It's you grifters and con artists.
Yeah.
It's people that aren't going to directly steal from you. They're going to let their conversation do it for them. So
sorry, I missed the modifier before that.
First off, you're trained in deception and diplomacy.
Okay.
And then you get 7 additional skills on top of the ones that we've already said you're trained in.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I recommend acrobatics and athletics for certain.
Yeah.
So then just modify that to trained?
Yeah.
Okay. So 1. Okay.
Probably performance. Floki, stop it.
In Pathfinder, is medicine linked with the herbalism?
No more or no less than anywhere else you could take medicine if you want as a skill.
Yeah. Like herbalism is more to do with the identification of like the thing you're using, whereas medicine's like, I know how to do bandaging and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They do overlap. It's just they don't, like, you can't double stack them. Like I do herbalism and medicine to solve the problem.
Okay.
So you could use herbalism to maybe make a poultice or something, but
Yeah.
you'd need medicine to be able to apply it properly.
Mhm.
All right. There is a
I
lot.
recommend survival as well because
Yeah, that's a doozy to have.
And then I was gonna throw on thievery as well.
yeah.
I don't even know how many I put in now. Great. Sorry.
I think you've only done 5.
So survival, thievery.
That takes you to 5.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
Performance.
What's
You
society?
take society is knowing who's who and the movers and shakers and how to get on in polite parties.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's
I'll
a good
take
one
that
too.
Yeah.
hmm
And then
Intimidation.
Yeah, it's always going to have as well.
all right, let's do that one too. All right. I think that's all.
Cool. Okay, attack wise, you are trained in simple weapons. That's weapon proficiencies.
Okay.
Trained in simple weapons. Trained in unarmed attacks.
Okay.
And then you also get training in 4 separate weapons: rapier, sap, lost the ability to speak human. Rapier, sap, short bow, and short sword.
All right. Do I just write that in or?
Yeah, pop those in as other.
Okay.
Because instead of being trained in the whole group of weapons that encompasses them, you've only got those specific ones from the
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. That was rapiers.
rapier, sap, short
right.
bow, and short sword.
All right.
Cool beans. And then at first level, you get sneak attack as a class ability.
Fabled sneak attack.
All right. Just trying to find it.
Yeah. Maybe actions and add it because it won't be a separate thing.
Oh, okay.
So sneak attack 1d6.
Oh, it's once. I thought you were asking me to roll.
No, sorry. And this is my cat. He is mischievous and being naughty right now. Say hello, Floki. Hello, Floki.
Hey, Floki.
Now I will gently put my cat down over here and not throw him. See that?
Well done.
I know,
How
right?
it's done.
You also
Place the
get
cat
a
on the
rogue
giant
feat.
spring.
So in
Alright.
feats, you can choose one of nimble dodge, trap finder, twin feint, or you're next.
Oh,
They did have imagination with the names.
I feel like you're next.
Basically, when you reduce someone to 0 hit points, you can intimidate someone else by saying you're next,
It's like Cleave, but for rogues.
and they might run away from you.
Only if I can say it in a French Canadian accent.
I'll take that.
Yep. Canon.
It's in the lore.
Head cannon is still canon.
Yes. Oh, actually.
Right, and then Safino,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
ever patient. This is what you get for choosing to play the ones at the end of the alphabet.
I'd have known.
This is the real reason that Aldrin dropped the wizard in favor of the
Barbarian.
druid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Just go for
Okay.
alchemist every time.
So at first level, you are trained in perception.
Yep.
You are trained in fortitude and reflex.
Mhm.
And you are expert in will.
Okay.
Skill-wise, you were going for the bloodline
Elemental.
elemental. That gets you the skills of intimidation and nature.
Okay.
Your spell list will be primal. Mm.
Oh, yeah.
And then you get a number of additional skills equal to 2 plus your intelligence modifier.
So 2 plus 0, which is 2 for the viewers out there.
It's okay. There's only a couple of maths teachers on the stream. You should be fine. Hopefully they won't correct you.
I think I'm questioning myself.
There's a conversation on Twitch right now that says, I would like to add my love of raccoon to the raccoon love pile.
Oh god.
Raccoon love pile is an interesting phrase.
It's a good band name as well.
Yeah.
And then when I held the cat up, somebody went, was that a raccoon? It looked like a raccoon. Same colours for sure. And then as is adequately pointed out by my good colleague, raccoons are intelligent. Ben's cats are basically mentally disabled.
Oh.
He's not wrong. He's
Oh.
met my cats. They're idiots. Like proper idiots. I mean, seriously, how we got two such mind-bendingly stupid cats defies belief. But you're supposed to be elegant, sophisticated, aloof creatures of the wild, not morons who fall downstairs.
Or no, that's what's going to blow up on Twitter. There'll be all the
Oh, I'm
cat
dead
lovers.
now. Yeah, I'm totally dead.
There we go.
Yeah, that's my Twitter life ruined for good.
Do we need a Ben button as well?
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
we
we'll all get a set.
Anyway, Safino, attack-wise, you're trained in simple weapons and unarmed attacks.
Always get your simple weapons.
Yep. And you are
Keep it
trained
simple.
in unarmored defense. That's your lot.
Yeah.
Your
Do magic in your pants, no armor for you.
What was I doing in the army? Like
Hiding.
Oh,
a lot,
yeah.
I
brain.
imagine.
running away a
they
lot.
need
Is
sorcerers.
he making some sort of relationships that were wrong?
with my rusty spoon.
which
apparently.
you playing as a scoundrel now comes off as a bit like, oh, so you like really got into his head about like, oh yeah, no, not a relationship you want to be in right now. Just
Mind games.
It's not the right one for you.
You don't want that.
And then
spoon.
probably copped off with them, right?
oh no.
Yeah.
Bro.
Move me out of the picture and then
Right, your
in comes
spell wise,
rain.
you're trained in spell attack rolls or primal spell attack rolls, and
Yay.
you are trained in primal spell DCs.
Go primal.
Primal.
Primal sounds a lot sexier.
Primarch?
Just arcane,
Primarch, yeah,
doesn't it?
Primarch. Yeah.
Primarch.
Nobody wants to be trained in Primarch spells.
No.
Ooh, you cast a spell, a cut price shirt appears.
That's
And
pretty
then
good.
Falls apart. Yes.
Yeah. We can't vouch for its provenance though.
You get 5 cantrips and 3 first level spells per day.
They accrue an interest.
They've got to be primal spells.
Yep.
Elementally speaking, cantrips you get produce flame guaranteed, and you get burning hands at first level.
But does that correspond to whatever my element is?
If you want to elementally flavor them so that they are water based because of your
So,
Mareed ancestry.
Wet hands.
So yeah.
Instead
it's
of burning
produce-
hands, it would be like
soggy hands.
So damp hands.
icy
Probably more like you
hands.
suck the water out of things actually with the
That'd
flame.
be good, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Ooh.
Desiccating hands.
Desiccating
Oh.
wave.
Yeah.
Now we know
No,
what
I
you're
like
doing
it.
in the military.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Running up to people and going,
Or it's like, we got wet again. Yeah, I have to dry our clothes out. Yeah.
Oh wait, hang
Using-
on.
using the look.
Go and see Fasil.
Go get
Your
that
clothes
guy.
dried out.
your blood magic power, elemental energy surrounds you or a target. You can either gain a +1 bonus to intimidation, or your target takes 1 damage per spell level.
Okay.
Ooh. So yeah, you can damage people by sucking the moisture out. I love the idea because usually when you're looking at sort of a water element, you're looking at Katara and
Yeah.
water bending magic and flashing water people. In a desert setting, sucking the moisture out of people is that much more threatening.
That was good.
Mhm.
That was
Isn't
good,
that
Simon.
bloodbending almost?
It's a good shout.
Yeah. Like it.
And then for a first level feat, counterspell, dangerous sorcery, familiar, reach spell, or widen spell.
Familiar? Wait,
Please
so
don't
I
take
could
it
also
familiar.
have an accomplice.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You could have an accomplice.
Just not a pug.
What
Or a
about
hummingbird.
Oh, wow.
Lizard.
A flying raccoon, did you say?
Squid.
An
Nobody
old
said flying
lady
raccoon.
talking tree.
What about a squid?
Desert squid. A sand
yes.
squid.
Oh,
You
the
could have like a
sand squid.
scorpion, like a big
A
ass,
womp.
not a giant scorpion, but like a big ass scorpion.
Yeah, like an
Yeah.
emperor scorpion. A womp rat. It just
Womp
good
rat?
ideas.
You don't want a womp rat anywhere near
You're just
Nye.
gonna
He
shut
bombs
up.
those in his
Yeah.
T16.
What's
So I
the-
won that archery contest.
Is it a jaboa? The kind of
Oh, the big eared
No,
jumpy
what's-
mouse.
What's the
thing.
name of the mouse shadow in the second moon?
this is a homework question, isn't it?
No, it's June.
It's more deep.
Oh,
It's
it's
not
been a
deep.
while. It's been like
Hiding from the sun, coming out at night. We call him the teacher of boys. Which is why when I taught in an all-boys school, I used to demand that people call me Muad'Dib. No one ever did, but you know, it was worth a try.
I see. When I was a Cub Scout leader, I got called Shere Khan, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
Also, your
Please-
forehead is the only thing anyone can see, Simon.
you're like king
Sorry, I'll sit up. I'll sit
peeking
up.
up above.
There we go.
He's going to sleep. Never mind, viewers.
I'm not gonna lie, I am sitting on a bed because I've been staying with relatives, and so this is like either there's a spare room with a bed in it. It's the only place I can do.
That's fair.
Yeah, eventually I start sitting up and I just slowly slide down.
Okay, so we are pretty much done in terms of character creation. Everybody gets one more ability boost.
Yeah.
If you choose to put it in intelligence, it will get you an extra skill.
Oh wait, what did I get a class ability boost for
Oh, yes. Sorry,
charisma? Yeah, was it? Or-
I only did class ability boost for the cleric, didn't I?
Yes,
So,
but
Alden,
Yes.
you get a wisdom boost for your
Hey.
class. Bum, 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 bum.
Thank you. That's better.
I think I get
A strength boost
yes. I'm pretty sure.
for a fighter.
Yep.
We did the cleric. Rogue, you get a dex boost or a charisma boost, your choice. So, CJ, you can have one of those two.
All right.
Wait, does fighter get a choice between strength and dex, or is it only strength?
You can choose if you want.
Yeah, I think I might go for dex actually then, because that makes
Yeah.
more
That's fine.
just for an archer at least.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it would be dex or strength. Safino, you can either have charisma, dex, or constitution. Apparently,
Oh,
A tough source. Well, actually, yeah,
I
that
would
makes
go with the
sense.
charisma for
Yeah,
the
it's
class
going-
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
benefit.
I need all the help I can get there. So.
And that's everybody. Then I haven't left anyone out, have I?
No.
No.
Good. So that's everybody's ability boosts, their backgrounds, their connections to one another, all of that sorted, which means that 2 weeks hence we will be able to begin the adventure. Now, what I'm going to do, I am going to drag my players. Oh no, I'm not going to drag my players. Instead, I'm just going to click myself across to the tribe lands. Please, everybody, tell me that your screens have just refreshed.
Yeah.
Show you
Yep.
that, and if I drag you one more time,
Ooh.
Oh, this
you
looks like
should
an oasis.
see a
Dreams
map
of some.
appearing
Ooh.
of Great Oasis,
Yes.
Gonna roll in.
and there should be a plateau visible sort of here.
Yeah.
You might need to zoom out if you can't see it. An oasis here, and some mesas in the background.
Yep.
Here and here.
The cave. Shrine.
Yep, and that is
There's
good. That is showing up
trees,
there.
man.
There are trees. There's a big stone
Yeah.
statue down here. This is the camp town of Great Oasis. Now, in the Azh'Kars Desert, one of the central tenets that all people cleave to and believe in is do not build. Building is what caused the collapse of the great empire of the Mashak in previous ages, when Great Azh'Kars woke up, stretched his back, and threw off all of the cities. The remaining cities that do exist are fallen places inhabited by evil and darkness.
Yeah, man.
The true people of the desert dwell in these semi-permanent camp settlements or by traveling across the sands. This is where you will be beginning your adventure in the town of Great Oasis. And that's where I'm going to wrap it up there. So thank you very much to everybody who has joined us this evening. Hopefully you'll join us in a couple of weeks' time to see what they actually do with these weird and wonderful characters that they've now built. I will let you guys source some pictures and stuff for your characters in case you want to show that off. If you want to put any more detail in, that's great. I'll have a look over the characters in the intervening time. And yeah, anybody got anything they want to add?
No, just thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank
That was
you very
awesome.
much.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
little
thanks,
bit of an
Billy.
experiment for Garblag Games this time, pulling together a bunch of players from much further afield. Nye, you were winning, but then I'm afraid CJ trumped you.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, but
Scotland,
Canada
Canada
is just that much more exotic than Scotland.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty much the same.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
What, looking at your neighbors to the south and going, what the hell are you doing in this uncertain time?
As far as I feel, Canada is an island right now.
Well, thank you very much for everybody who's come along and joined us on the stream. Thank you to our peeps on Twitch who have come along and supported us. Thank you for the rerolls. Ooh, a greeting from Egypt. Hello.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
Hello, Egypt.
Hi.
Great stuff. Thank you, Changer of Ways. I hope you will like the setting and see a little bit something of home from it. Otherwise, we will be back 2 weeks hence for more Path of the Pilgrim, where our players will set out on their first adventure, and maybe we'll get to meet the Marid of Great Oasis. Dun, dun, dun. Thank you very much for coming this evening. Thank you very much to my players. Thank you very much to Garbler Games for hosting, and for our patrons on Patreon who have supported us with like cash and money so that we can buy stuff like my Tron lamp that I use so that I can be seen without being seen, because I'm a
Yeah.
hideous troll beast, so I live in the dark. Thank you, Twitter, for not murdering me. Please don't murder me, Twitter.
Time.
And thanks to everybody who's shared recommendations. Pete's going to do his usual thing and throw a whole bunch of links down below. Please check those out. Our Patreons, our Ko-Fis, our streams, and various good things. CJ also has a stream in which you're going to be playing some games and maybe cooking some food, and we'll throw a link for that down there as well. But yes, thank you, everybody, one and all. That's about us, and hopefully I've waffled on long enough for Pete to actually manage the shutdown now. Good night.